Hi you guys, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a pink heart set. I'm starting off by pushing my client's cuticle back, and I'm using these new cuticle pushers that I got off Amazon. I'll place a picture at the top so you guys can see what I'm using. Now that I have completed that step, I am going to take my barrel bit and I am just going to go ahead and just remove the dead skin. I've already pushed it back. So I'm zooming in so you guys can really see how this barrel bit really gets all of the dead skin off of the client's nail plate. So I'm going to also place a picture so you guys can see what I'm using. I absolutely love this bit. This is one of my favorites. Some people also like the ball bit. I also do use the ball bit, but this is like definitely my go-to. Okay, so next I'm going to take my fine sanding band, and all I'm doing is just removing the shine off my client's nail. If you guys can do these steps and follow them to the T, or do your own thing, but just follow what I'm kind of going over, I promise you that you guys' retention will be A1. A lot of new nail techs have issues of maintaining a clientele. And a lot of the reasoning is because the nails may look beautiful, but the retention is not there. And you guys have to think about it. When people are spending their money, they want to have a nice retention. And that also can fall on the client if they're not doing what they need to do to also maintain the health of the nails. So now I'm going to take my nail clip nippers. And this is the epinicium area. And technically, you're not supposed to cut the epinicium area. But I like to just get the, extra dead skin that's off because you don't want to expose that living skin. Okay, guys? So if you're not comfortable with doing this step, you can either skip this step or kind of just go over that area with your sanding band, gently just removing the excess dead skin or just not touching it at all, whatever works for you. So once I'm done with that, I like to dust off my client's nail and then also take a brush and some alcohol and remove any debris before applying the nail tips. I have learned that for me, this also helps with retention. It's kind of like a extra dehydrator before dehydrating the nails, if you get what I'm saying. And I also like to do it before applying the tips because I notice when I will apply the tips and then spray alcohol, the alcohol breaks down the nails and begins to crack the nails. So I do that step before applying the nail tips. Now I'm just going in with my Macart glue and my nail tips. I'm actually making sure that I am applying the tips sidewall to sidewall. So you guys want to make sure, if you do have a too big of a tip or, a too small of a tip, I will go with the too big of a tip. And then also just take my file and just file the bottom sides to make sure it fits rather than applying a small tip and squeezing that client's nail, causing the uncomfortable feeling and just not, having what you need for the nail in order to maintain the good, retention of the nail and just overall, the look overall, you know what I mean? So just make sure you guys are applying sidewall to sidewall and getting tips that fit your client's nails. I'm taking that same fine sanding band and I am just filing across and going up and down. There's no right or wrong way, long as you're blending that nail tip, you guys. Also, something that I like to do for each client to let them know that, I am clean and I do sanitize and disinfect my products properly. I leave on the dirty sand band from each current appointment and I take it off in front of my client's face, and then I change out the new sanding band, in front of them so they can see that I am using a new sanding band for you guys. So now I'm just taking my nail nippers and I am just clipping down to the designated, length that my client wants. Now I'm going in with my dehydrator. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to prime 2 times. Now, I like to go in with a clear layer because of retention. My clients like to change out their acrylic color sometimes, and it allows me to file down to the clear acrylic and to be able to do so without removing my client's nails. So it allows that flexibility. And this step literally takes under a minute. Like if you guys time it, this is normal speed. It takes under a minute to do. It is not a mandatory step. I like to do it. That's my preference. So, and those are the reasons why. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to start with my application. And you guys want to make sure you're not flooding those cuticles when applying the application. That also helps with retention, because if your cuticles are flooded, it's going to begin to cause lifting. So make sure you guys are cleaning that cuticle area. If you make mistakes do happen. Just take that brush, go around that cuticle area and just clean it up and make sure everything is nice and neat. The neater your application is, the better it will be and the easier it will be towards the end of the nail appointment to file and, do everything else that you need to do. going in with my 80/80 file. That's a preference for me. Some people do not prefer 80/80 because it is more coarse, but that's what I prefer for a nice crispy shape. But you can also go in with 100, 180, 120, whatever grit file you have or that you want. Go ahead, make sure you're filing those nails to the desired shape of the client to ensure that, everything is nice and neat. Now I'm going in with my tornado bit. I'm sealing those cuticles, making sure everything is nice and smooth on the surface of my nail, also underneath my nail. Make sure you guys are checking, making sure everything is nice, clean, and neat. Remember, this is your name on the line, so you want to make sure your work is spectacular. No one is perfect, but make sure you're doing everything that you need to do to make sure the client's nails look how you want them to look and that they want them to look as well, as far as representing your name and giving a client their desired look. Now I'm going in with my buffer and I'm just buffing the nails. Once I've had my clients wash their hands, and when my clients wash their hands, I ask them to take a brush and have them do a soft scrub on their hands. And then once they're done, I come back with some alcohol and clean up any excess debris left on the nails. So that way I have a nice clean surface to work with. Now that I am done with that, my client is showing me the design that she wants. It's going to be hearts in like a half, like V-cut type thing. I like to start off with the 2 dots for the hearts. It's simple, it's easy for me, and I think it'll be easy for beginners or anyone who may have issues with just trying to draw out a heart. This is my go-to for hearts, and I think it's one of the most easiest ways that you can go. Now I'm just taking my liner brush and connecting the dots and kind of just creating that line. So on this hand, I decided to try the other way to see which way was easier or quicker. So what I have learned is that trying to do the hearts first is easier than doing the half V cut, because once you do the half V cut, you're kind of limited to your space. When you do the hearts, you got more space to work with. But this is just two different ways. So whatever works for you guys, if you're trying this set, you do what works for you. I learned that the hearts work best for me. So, I just like to try different things just to see, what works. So in the future, if you have a design like this or similar and you're, on a time crunch, you know what works better and what's quicker for you. So, sometimes things don't turn out the way you want them to turn out and it doesn't look how you expect it. So, I always like to have a cleanup brush and acetone to the side just to clean up any mistakes. So, you guys, when you're doing any nail art, make sure you have some acetone or alcohol. I prefer acetone. And, just, clean up your mistakes and keep going. Also, I want to say that I did time myself, and this set took me 1 hour and 22 minutes. That's something I enjoy doing because I have days where I'm faster and I have days where I'm a little bit slower. Not saying I'm rushing on clients' nails to, make the nails look sloppy or anything, but I like to kind of know where I stand at when it comes to specific designs. And I think when doing so, you guys can kind of know where you're at when it comes to certain designs that clients may book. And that way you're able to give yourself end of the day goals and end of the week goals. And that way you can kind of keep up with your pay and, just kind of challenge yourself at the same time. So remember, it's not a race. Every nail tech is different. And, believe in yourself and challenge yourself. Once my client has cured her nails, I'm going to go in with my Koopa top coat. The bottle is great because I like to get like refill bottles from my local nail supplier. But this is Koopa. And I just want to kind of say this. I remember as a beginner, clients used to constantly like look at their nails, and I used to get like butterflies in my stomach because I used to worry like, oh my gosh, did I do something wrong? Is it ugly? Do they dislike it? And sometimes people just want to look at their nails. They enjoy the process. Sometimes they may see something that you don't see, and I believe that as nail techs we shouldn't get upset. Just correct it, guys. These people are paying their hard-earned money, and don't get on the defensive side if someone's kind of correcting something, because a lot of the times it's nothing to be rude, and they're not intentionally trying to be mean about it. It may just be something that you missed. So Don't freak out if your clients are constantly staring at their nails. Some people just enjoy the process. And we can all learn from someone. You're never too old in the game or whatever to learn. I'm always learning. I'm still learning. So, yeah. I like to file at the end just to get that nice, clean, crispy shape. Make sure everything is nice and crisp. Just a little foul, not really, filing the nails down or anything like that, okay? Once I'm done with that, I dust my client's nails off, put some cuticle oil on, and voila, here's the final look. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.